Hey there, this is the Market Dog Queen, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Thinkorswim from the default page to a chart that you can start working with. And as you can see right now, this is the default page. If you're new to Thinkorswim, this is what you see when you open it up. That's why if it doesn't look like the rest of my videos, that's only because you haven't fine-tuned it to make it look like you need it to look. Now, I'm going to show you a lot of things that I do to customize it to make it work for me. This is, of course, subject to interpretation. Do what you want. Use what you need, what works for you. Get rid of what doesn't work for you. I'm just going to show you how to get there and how to navigate Thinkorswim from here to there. So over here on the left-hand side, these are called widgets. The top button is your account info. That will always be there. But the rest of the widgets are deletable. You can click right here on those three little bars, and you can move it, you can delete it, you can send it, you can delete gadget. You can also detach gadget and drag it to another monitor, if you will, or open up another individual screen. Sometimes you can just go ahead and drag out your scanner list and keep it to the side while you're looking at your charts and your news. Now, like I said, these are all widgets and they're deletable. So I don't use Trader TV. This runs during market hours. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. I'm going to keep the watch list. Up here is the news, and the news will coincide with whatever ticker you're looking at the time. I'm going to leave it right there for now, okay? But I don't usually have it, and I'll show you why I'm going to leave it on there, just so I can show you how it works. I always keep the watch list. This is where I drag and drop from my scanner. I bring it over here. This is also where I keep an eye on things that I'm looking forward to, maybe alerting later on in the day. I like to keep a good eye on that. Then down here is a quick chart. I don't need the quick chart, so I delete that. I'm going to make this main area here my chart. Now, this is just your basic information. As you can see, you can basically figure this out by yourselves. Honestly, I don't use any of this, not one bit. It does me no good. I'm never on the home screen. Where I go from here is you go to charts. Now, this is the default setting for the Thinkorswim charts when they set up. This is the daily, yearly chart. As you can see, it cuts off for every month right there. And it's got all the grids, all the hash, just so much information. And it's kind of just generic. And we don't really want it like that. You need to fine tune this to where it appeals to you, because this is what you're going to be looking at every day. Now, like I said, I'm going to show you how I set up my screen, but of course you're free to customize however you like it. Now over here, while I'm looking at these widgets, I'm going to go ahead and drag down my watch list. There's a little link right here that's on every one of these widgets. And it's the same up there. There's the link. So we unlinked it. We unlink. All right. To me, it's just a chain. It's a link thing. In order to get your watch list to coincide with your chart, you need to link it by color right up here. So if we unlink it, everything is unlinked. So now I can pick any color I want. Like if I want to make it blue, all right, then I'm going to go ahead and link my chart to blue. There we go. Now it's going to display As you can see, I have other studies. Just remove it. It's going to display whatever ticker I click on because the chart is linked to the watch list. Now the news widget up above, you can do the same exact thing. You can link it by color, and that way whatever you pick, it will open up the chart for that, and it will also open up any latest news for that particular ticker. It's just a wonderful feature, and it helps keep you up to date on everything that's going on. And like I said, I was just going to keep it there to show you what it can do for you, but for the space that I've got, I'm just going to go ahead and I need to whatever. All right. So we're going to go to the charts, and then after that, we need to go to style. All of these little icons up here, they all do individual things, but right now we're going to start with the style. This is your daily style, and once you get it all set, I highly recommend you save it. That way it always opens up to your favorite style. You can also create other styles and name them something else, give them, save them as a different style, and you can change your charts according to style. But I always stress, always save, always save. So we're going to open up style, click on it, and we're going to go to settings. Right there. And here we are. This is default settings. Everything that is clicked is the default settings set by Thinkorswim. These are all customizable. You can click them on, you can click them off. You get your time zone dialed in. I want you to basically, I'm going to tell you right now, I basically leave this off. I leave this as is. The only thing I do on the general page is I go ahead and dial in my time zone. And then we go to price axis. I leave it as it is. This is all changeable. The left axis, you can shut it off or leave it on. Always remember to apply if you make any changes. Next, we're going to go to time axis. Right now, what it's showing us is the 1 year, the 1 day. And we like that. You're going to keep that as a steady, good time frame. And then we'll go to favorite time frames. You often hear me talking about the 5 minute, 5 day. These are all the default settings. And then you can add any time frame that you customize. I like to add a 5 year daily, and you add it, and it's right there. And I also like to add a 10 year daily, and I add, hit apply, so it saves. Now I've got all these as my favorite. You can choose to delete them, you can choose to move them up, everything, we could take this and move up, move up, move up. You could take this, move it down, you could delete it, you could do whatever you'd like. That's how you could customize your favorite time frames. Next, we go to appearance. Appearance is what your chart is going to look like, basically. So we click on that, and this is the default setting. Now, anything that you click on and change will react over here, so you can see an example of the change before you hit apply. You like it, you don't. If you were to take these green candles and fill them up, do you like that or you don't? If you don't, then just leave it like that. Always remember to hit apply. I do like to take the volume bars and change that instead of the preset blue. I like it to go as symbol ticks. I like to know if my volume is coming down, my volume is picking up. So I go ahead and hit apply. And then you can see over here in the chart, it just applied. I do like all of this. I don't necessarily like to have my green candles, the bodies filled up. It tends to fill up my page with just a bit too much solid color. I need some contrast. Next we go to equities. I leave it like this, leave show extended trading hours, the trading session, highlight extended trading session. We love all of this. Options, I leave it just like that. And then we hit OK. Somehow I think I forgot something. The grid. Where is the grid? The grid, right there. All right, so I went back to appearance. And if you don't know what I'm talking about these very faint little lines that are on the background behind the candlesticks, okay? So I'm going to click off the grid because I don't need all that necessary line over there. So we hit apply, get rid of that. All right? And then we hit OK. And there we go. And now I'm going to change my time frame. And let's go to what I'm familiar with, the 5-day, 5-minute. As you can see, my volume bars down here now coincide with my candles. Also, you should know that there's a little button right here you could click and make the left-hand side disappear. Easy peasy, bring it back. You can also choose just to drag it a little bit to make it a little bit skinnier to give yourself a little bit more chart room, as you can see right here. But for the sake of what we're doing right now, I'm going to go ahead and make it bigger. During market hours is dark black. The light gray is after hours. Let's go ahead and go somewhere where there's a more solid after hours. As you can see, I like that. All right, default. As you can see, it's just plain, it's just simple, not much going on. You can get your mouse right over this and then squeeze it down so we have more chart room. Take your mouse, you can click and drag and open up your chart even bigger. Now, how do we get stuff on there? How do we get those indicators on there? Well, I'll tell you right now, anywhere you see a chemistry beaker is where the studies are located. They put them everywhere. There's one right there. There's one right there. Okay. Let's go to studies. And no, let's go to the main study right there. And there it is. As it sits right now, the chart is generic. I've cleaned it of basically all the background noise. Now I want to add some basic indicators that a lot of people put on their charts. So let's go ahead and start with a simple moving average. Go ahead and type it over there. You can also just look it up on their big list and hit it and hit add selected. These are now customizable once you put them over here on your studies, and that's with that little gear. Everywhere you see a gear, that means there's tools there. You can customize it. Always remember that. This is where you change your time period for your simple moving average. Some people like to use, let's say, the 50, and let's add it. You can draw it as a line. You can change it. You could change it to dotted. The width, you can change the color. Like I said, Thinkorswim is very customizable here. I'm going to leave it like that. It's now the 50 simple moving average. So let's go ahead and I'll apply it. I now have my first line. I would like to add it again. I just clicked it again, add selected, because now I'm going to turn this into the 200. Just go ahead and do that. And now I want to change the color so it's different than the 50. It can stay all the same. If you click all of these off, the show plot, the show bubble, and the show title, it will shut off the notifications on the sides. So right now I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to hit apply, and now I have my two moving averages on my chart. I also like to add, simple enough, Bollinger Bands. You all hear me talking about this all the time. It's a very simple edge indicator. It works great, and it just covers so much. Now I will tell you right now, I leave it as is unless I don't like the colors. And I don't like the colors because I like my Bollinger Bands, the lower band and the upper band, to match in color. That's what I like. I like to know that they match. So I hit OK, I hit apply, and now I have Bollingers. And I'm going to hit OK, and we're going to look at the chart now. And there it is. As you can see, I have colors that are a little bit too close to each other. So as I'm looking at it, I need to customize it more. And anything that you find on your chart, right click, hit edit study, and that's for anything. Click it, right click, any of these, and they change. So right now, I'm going for the middle Bollinger Band. The center midline is blue, like my moving averages. I don't like that. So I'm going to change it to very pale pink. Okay. And I'm going to change it to dashed. And I'm going to hit apply and hit OK. And now it stands out differently. And you can tell that it's part of my Bollinger Band indicator. When I hover my mouse over it, the whole Bollinger Band indicator, the upper band, the lower band, and the center all light up at the same time. It goes with all indicators. Now that's just your basic chart. And here we are. Now when I talk about looking at your other things that help you decide, you need time and sales. That's over here. TNS, you will be adding that. During market hours, this will load up with the time, the price, and how big of a purchase was just made. This is very important to me. Also, I need level 2, L2, right there. And that opens up the level 2. I'll close time and sales. Level 2 is right there. If you need to see more of level 2, just drag it. And if it's deeper, it will all load up. But right now, because the market is closed, it's not there. And here we are. So now I really like this. So I need to go to style. And I need to save this style. And I need to name it. But I'm also going to include patterns and study set. Do the style name. I'm going to call this TOS default lessons. And there it is. And now I hit save. And if I change my style, like if I go down here and I go down to, let's say, S style that I have saved, there's that one. I go back to my style, and go to load style and go back to the one I just made, TOS default lessons, and there it is. Now, how do I get those lower studies on there? I'll show you right now. Go to the main Beaker. Always remember the main Beaker right there. That's the lower indicators right here. Let's say I want the MACD. I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll add selected, and it automatically goes to the lower. I don't really change it. I kind of leave it as is. Those of you that know me also know that I'm very partial to the TTM squeeze. And there it is. Click on it, add selected, and I do leave that as default too. Now, I like the TTM squeeze above the MACD. So over here on the right-hand side, you'll see this little up button. So I click it, and now it's up above the MACD, but they share the same space. I don't want that. I want the TTM squeeze alone, so I put it up even higher. It's in my lower studies because these are my upper studies. I could add more to my upper studies. This section would just expand. And then I hit apply, and I like that. Now I want to save my study. I like what I have. So we're going to save this whole study that I just created, and I'm going to save it as a set. And here we go. I need a name. Let's just go ahead and say Lizzie's Fave. Save. Hit OK. And there it is. Now, if I wanted to add different studies, I could go to add a study, and it opens up a whole side menu. And you can check all of these to your heart's content. There isn't enough time in this video to do it. But I can also come down here and do load study set. And they go like by number to alphabetical. And I can go on here and I could find where it is. And there's Lizzie's Fave. I could change it to the Queen's Fave. There's the Queen's Fave. Now I'll go to here to studies. I go back down here. Go down here to what I just made. To Lizzie's Fave. And there it is. If you don't like the left axis, that's this section right over here. You have to go back into Style and Settings. And go to price axis. No, time axis. That just stop. I will tell you right now. I also don't like the candlesticks so close to the end of the chart. I really need a little wiggle room right here to see what I'm looking at. I had forgotten to show you this. Shit happens. So we go back to Style. We go back to Settings. We're going to go to Time Axis, and it's called the Expansion Area. You can click over here. You can click these, what they give you, the automatics, and it'll show you what it looks like. You can hit Apply and see if it gives you enough room. I don't like it. I like a little bit more, maybe 25 or 30. So I go ahead and do 30 bars to the right, hit Apply, hit OK. Always experiment. Zig and zag, fit studies, fit study markers, fit patterns. Enable left axis. So this is under price axis. You click on that to unclick it, hit apply, hit OK, and then the left axis is gone. I like more charts. I really do. But that's subject to your customization. Now remember what I said. I just got done changing all of that. So now I want to save my studies. That's beautiful. Now I want to save my style because I changed it, and I want to include patterns and study sets. And because I changed it, I'm going to hit save, and then it's going to tell me you already have one that's called this, and that's okay. It already exists. Do I want to replace it? Yes, I do. Click. We're all good to go. And there you are, guys, from default to a ready chart. Now, when I scan, that's a whole different story. You set up your scanner, but that's a whole nother video, people. You are ready to go from your chart. Like I said, you can change anything, and now the indicators and studies that you made automatically load no matter what ticker you pick. Isn't that amazing? Good luck with your trading. I'll talk at you next time.